Hi, welcome to Heart of Gold. I am Paul Chartier. We are so excited to have Allison Langford with the Town Branch Park with us. Thank you.
Thank you for having us.
It is going to be such a beacon for this town. And you have a video, so let's show the video, you narrate it, and then we'll come back and talk. Okay?
Great. Fantastic.
Okay.
So the park is located in the parking lot called the Manchester Street parking lot, which is really between the newly expanded Convention Center and Oliver Lewis Way Bridge. You see there the great lawn that'll hold about 5,000 people seated on blankets or tables, but for major events. But when it's not in use for events, we imagine people exercising in the lawn, holding classes, and just hanging out on picnic blankets and whatnot. It'll have a stage that also will have the capacity to hold things like Picnic with the Pops, with the Philharmonic and smaller acts as well. Here you get a glimpse of the dog park, which will be really the only true urban dog park we have, which really helps people be able to live in downtown and bring their pets to farmers market and things like that. You see in this image the splash ground, which will be an area with clean, potable water for people to play in. We have beautiful fountains in downtown Lexington, but this will be water intended to play, that's safe for play and not just meant to be beautiful feature. We hope that people will walk and bike through the park. The trail, Town Branch Trail, goes through the center of the park. Again, this is another view of the water play area, which really we've learned through studies. The Town Branch at the Bluegrass Community Foundation, they do a public life, public space survey. And one of the things that came out is that while our public pools are affordable, they're not affordable for all. And that at $4 a head, there still are folks who really love to play in water that can't do it on a regular basis. So we hope that this will solve that problem for folks in Lexington. This is a view of the play area. We call it the Woodland Play Area, which we hope will have fun equipment for both adults and children. We've seen examples around the country where there's great exercise type equipment that families can get on together and play. And so this is also something that we don't currently have in downtown Lexington. We have it at some of our adjacent community or neighborhood parks, but not in the heart of downtown. And again, this will allow folks to live and play downtown. This gives you an overview of the park. We call it from the bird's eye view, and just a wide view of the park area.
You're a great narrator.
Well, that was my first attempt at that. I should have practiced that.
You don't need any practicing. I think you live and breathe this. I think this is in your DNA. So you're Allison Langford. Welcome.
I am. Thank you.
This is going to be a great project. How did this get conceptualized?
Well, it came about in 2012, if you believe that, and there was an international design competition for Town Branch Commons, and Scape Architect won that design competition, and the park was one piece of that. The second piece of that was the Town Branch Trail. There was already an effort to extend that into the countryside out Manchester Street, but there was a missing link in our downtown, the core of the downtown, and so Town Branch Commons really is two pieces: the trail system and the park. The city's overseeing the trail system. That's fully funded through state and federal transportation grants. And then the park is really what I'm working on.
And again, that location right behind the convention center, behind Rupp Arena.
Yes.
And it will connect the walking, biking trail out to the horse park.
That's right, the Legacy Trail.
And the other one that goes out to Andover.
That's right. And so all in all, we'll have 22 miles of protected bike and pedestrian paths. And when I mean protected, I mean there's something separating you from the cars, whether it's shrubbery or a stone wall. You know, it'll vary based upon the space available, but there will be a protection or barrier that makes folks like me, not an avid cycler, but I like to cycle, feel comfortable.
So they allow people with 4 wheels and bikes to go as well. Well, that's good for you and your family.
Yes.
You talked before about the purpose of a park and what it does for the energy of a city. And when professionals get recruited, what does that mean to them?
Well, I think it does so much for a city. And you know, in an age where we're all on our cell phones and sit at home binge watching Netflix and the like, you know, I think we're really craving spaces that bring us together. And we know that parks do a great job of bringing people from all different walks of life together to interact, to sit next to each other, to have their dogs play in the park or their children splash in the splash ground. And so I think when we're talking about young people or young professionals relocating, we know that this is a type of amenity they're looking at. We know professors from UK and medical providers at UK are looking for that. We hear it again and again that it's the type of amenity not just that we want, but we really need to be able to attract the talent that we need in Lexington.
You mentioned the front porch, and this is going to be a game changer for Lexington.
Absolutely. You know, one of our board members said they envisioned this as the front porch that brings Lexington together, and I love that imagery. And last May we did a community-wide survey, what we called the inclusion survey, and we asked people what makes them feel comfortable in public spaces, what makes them not feel comfortable or welcome, and we learned a lot, and we took all that information, and that's really what the vision we were trying to capture is this could be the front porch. And you envision on your front porch just talking to folks passing by, and I think that's what a park like this can do, among many other things.
Allison, you talked about some of the visits that you made to other parks, one of them in New York.
Yes.
Talk about that a little bit.
Well, so we know this is going to be a beautiful space. The design that Scape Architect came up with is just unbelievably beautiful. But we wanted it to be more than beautiful. We really wanted it to be a space that was well loved, well used, and thoughtfully programmed. And we didn't want to wait till it was built to start thinking about that. So we engaged who we believe are really the best in the business, Biederman Redevelopment Ventures, and they're the brains behind Bryant Park. And Bryant Park back in the 90s was nicknamed Needle Park because there wasn't a whole lot of good stuff going on in Bryant Park. But they did some changes to the landscape, but really what they did is thoughtfully program the space and transformed it. Now it's per acre the most visited park, one of the most visited parks in the world. And so we brought them on and said, you know, we know this has been done in other places, but we don't have this type of amenity in Lexington. Help us think through this. And so they've been helping us think through the programming plan and really bringing the community into that conversation.
This is not going to be 9 acres of, we have excess space, let's put some grass seed down and to see what happens. There's live water that runs under Lexington.
Yes.
That talk about that and how that's going to be featured.
So Town Branch Creek itself daylights in the parking lot. If you go and you take a peek down in the parking lot, which right now is a major construction site, but if you look down there, there looks to be trees growing out of the parking lot, and it's not really trees. If you were able to peel back those trees, you would look down and see Town Branch Creek. It's the only place that daylights in the kind of core of downtown. You'd have to go out Manchester Street to see it otherwise. Many years ago, they covered Town Branch Creek and the portion that went downtown as we needed more road space and those type of things. There was flooding and difficulty controlling that. And so because of that, because it already daylights in the parking lot, we're able to really uncover that and restore the stream bed and expand it through the park. So you will have Town Branch Creek running through the park.
Well, this thing is no accident, and It's going to be so well planned. All this bubbling enthusiasm that's percolating is so exciting. But for it to happen, you need serious participation from corporations and people. How's that working, and what's the goal of what you need to make this happen?
Yeah, this is a big, bold vision, and really it's going to take the whole community coming together to fulfill that vision. Right now, we have raised almost $10 million, which is a great start. We need, our fundraising goal is $31 million, and that is both to build the park, but also set the organization up that will operate that park, set it in a way that has the sustainability is considered now, not later.
Because there are costs to
That's right.
lighting and security and that type of thing.
Absolutely. If we want it to be a safe, secure, clean, well-loved park, it'll be operated and maintained by this organization. And so we are trying to take all the steps we can to be thoughtful about that now.
What is the website that people can go to see more about the park?
It is at townbranchpark.org. Pretty simple, townbranchpark.org. And all of this and more is on the website.
The video, not edited.
That's right, without narration.
Not for now.
Right.
By the time this airs, it might. What else do people need to know about the park? Because this is a big undertaking. You've got someone now aggressively going after making connections, building relationships to tell the community how important this park is.
Yeah, so like I said, we need everybody to really be involved, and you can get on our website, sign up for our newsletter. That's one of the better ways to connect with us. We have a Facebook page, but if you have thoughts, ideas, and certainly if you want to give, please contact us. We'd love to talk to you.
As Ben goes out,
Yes,
and he's a new addition to your staff,
that's right. Yeah.
terrific young guy, sponsoring naming rights to things, like what's that going to look like?
All of the major features have naming right opportunities as we move to the next phase of design, which we anticipate happening in the start of 2020. There will be additional naming opportunities, and we really want to honor, though, everyone who gives in some way. So if you're giving big or small, you will be recognized and honored in the park.
You have evolved into this position.
Yeah.
Ann Backus is very involved in this as well. I think for all the people that are behind this, all the employees, donors, sponsors, board members, this is going to add to your legacy. I mean, that's how big this is going to be. This is going to be our central park, and it's going to live on forever. And as I talk to nonprofits every month, look at how many lives will be changed and improved because of this park.
I think that we have a great board. As you mentioned, Ann Backus is our chair, and we have a really committed group of volunteers who believe in it 100%. And so we're thankful for them, and they are passionate about it. And I think it will contribute to their legacy, but I think that's not what motivates them. They are motivated by this project and the vision and what it can do for our community.
Thank you for your leadership. We cannot wait to have you back to see the progress.
Thank you.
And thank you very much, Allison. I'm Paul Chartier. We'll be right back on Heart of Gold.